I'm excited about this one. This is my top 12 signs someone's interested in you. So this could be that they're interested in you possibly for a personal relationship or for a professional one. I'm a bit out of practice. I'm in a happy, loving relationship and I'm a family guy, so I'm not out there, on the dating scene. But I have studied behavior carefully. Now, this is not based on behavioral science. These are just things that are based on my own experience. So I figure I got to share those with you. Number one, you suddenly look at someone and then you happen to see that person look away right at the moment that you look at them. I can't say this is based on behavioral science, and it might even be in professional work settings. If someone was just fascinated with what you had to say, and then you look over in a meeting and then they look down and they look away. My second sign that someone might be interested in you in some capacity, you'll notice that when they're around you, they tend to kind of fix their hair or fix their tie or do different things that are kind of like primping themselves or getting themselves ready. So that's a common behavior where you see them making themselves look good for you. Number three sign someone might be interested in you. What you'll notice is that even when the things that you say are not really that funny, the person might exaggerate and kind of laugh a lot at the things that you say. So you might feel really good that they're laughing. It's probably intended for you to feel good about things. Now, not to be confused with someone who's being disingenuous and just sucking up to you and fake laughing. I think if someone's interested in you in some capacity, they tend to nod their head and laugh and smile when you say things. My fourth sign that someone might be interested in you is that they tend to touch you a lot. So they might grab your arm when you're laughing, they might touch your knee. Now, I'm not talking about like creepy touching. I mean, just simply kind of like a lot of reasons to put their arm on your arm or to kind of like pat your back, that sort of thing. My fifth sign that someone might be interested in you is maybe from a dating perspective. So you'll hear them often say that they don't have a boyfriend or they don't have a girlfriend or a significant other. So you'll hear them say that repeated times, which is kind of like a sign that they're interested in dating. My sixth signal that someone might be interested in you is that you end up getting text messages at late hours, at very odd hours, often after midnight. I'm not talking about like the late night drunk text. I mean, they're actually up thinking about you for some reason and then they're sending texts. So one little hack that I want to throw out there, if you have something that you want to get off your chest and you want to text someone, Verizon has a really cool app. I get nothing from Verizon, but they have an app actually built into the texting program where you can schedule your text message to deliver the next morning. All right, tip number 7, someone might be interested in you. This one actually does have human biology behind it. So if someone's interested in you, if you look closely, if they have lighter eyes, now it doesn't work so great with someone that has darker eyes, but if you look closely at the moment that they're speaking to you, you might see their pupils dilate a little bit. So it just shows an interest, and there's some biology behind that. And my 8th indication someone might be interested in you, this could be in a professional setting or just in any kind of meeting for that matter. The person, just in their body language, you'll see them kind of lean into you. So when someone's very interested in and engaged in a conversation, they're going to lean into you while you're speaking and kind of have an open stance, which is a big difference from the person that's kind of crossing their arms closed off, having their feet towards the door and kind of leaning back and looking around and checking their text messages. So the person leans into you and they give you that eye contact. My 9th indication someone might be interested in you is that they may ask you personal questions within a conversation, and they actually remember the answers to those personal questions. Instead of just making small talk, they remember your dog's name, your children's name, your second uncle, all these different little factors that seem to be not that relative, but they remember these things and then they inject them into the next conversation. All right, my 10th signal someone might be interested in you is that they truly make plans with you. So they actually sit down with their schedule and their phone and their app, and they actually try to work out a time that you can meet again, or they follow up with a text message, as opposed to the person that you haven't seen in a long time and you meet them on the street and they say, oh yeah, let's get together sometime, and it never happens. You know they're not going to contact you. They know they're not going to contact you, which is very different from the person that actually wants to nail down a time to meet up with you for dinner later. My 11th indication that someone's interested in you is they actually make sure that they introduce you to their close friends and their family, because if someone's not interested in you, you'll notice they'll keep that distance. But if they have you over for dinner to meet the parents and to meet family members or close friends, they're basically trying to make sure that they have their friends kind of sniff out whether you're an appropriate person for them. And my 12th and final indication that someone might be interested in you is that they actually care about your safety, and they might text you or ask you to promise you'll call them to make sure that you got home safely. So, you know, that way someone truly cares. So when you're not in their presence, they're actually worrying about you or concerned for your safety, and they follow up and say, did you get home okay? That's a nice indication. So hopefully these are helpful. Again, these are just based on my own experience. They're not necessarily based on science, but those top 12 indications that someone might be interested in you might be able to help you as an entrepreneur in business, or it might be able to help you with your relationships and with your family. Thanks so much, behavior investigators and people that care about relationships and behavior. And listen, if you really like what we're doing, do me a favor. We're so grateful that you're tuning in. If you could just hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up, it'll go a long way. Thank you.